doesn't get whatever maniacal scheme they have going, as we are getting into the last game of the day. And off the bat, it's just a lot different of a tone than our previous game, as they're just going to get the ward line set up and chill for a minute.
They are. So, wards are put down, and another thing that's been put down is Yellow Yoshi starting the W on the Bard. Now, we saw this even from Support Bard a season or two ago. I want to see season 8, something like that, where you drop all of these healing pots, effectively, into your lane, which allows your lane to play super aggro, run back, top off on HP, and then you get pot advantages. You get HP advantages. And so someone like Mega Man being able to brawl out with the Victor, who normally beats the Rise a little bit earlier on, that's actually quite valuable. Now, you're not going to get, of course, your ability to start fighting as earlier, because you're not starting with your level 1 Q, which is a very large amount of damage from the Bard, but I like the adaptation. AXIZ getting good value out of this pick.
Yeah, I have seen, the W start, just extra sustain for your jungler, make them happy that they're not going low on these camps, and it's the buddy system, so looking to see that, as we do see the grab pop up. Ooh, 50-50 picks. Okay, it's a little bit split right down the middle. I love to see it. And yeah, we're just gonna pop in this top lane, see how Rayfarki is going to abuse this Yoshi for the start of this game. As yeah, just a lane in a state where he's not gonna be able to really get up there.
Yeah. So it's not going to be something like, well, so obviously you do see the smite used. It helps your Lee Sin, in this case, get a slightly faster start to the jungle. But you don't really want to be sat on low XP for a long time on Bard. Of course, you can get XP by fishing around for those meeps and those chimes across the map. But Yellow Yoshi, once he hits level 3, that's when I'm looking to see AXIZ turn online and see if they can make plays happen. If they don't manage to get that cleanly, if Rayfarki bullies him out, then we'll start seeing if Burning Core can play through their lanes, because they know that they're not playing against a farming top laner.
For sure. And we'll have to see if it evolves into, just, all right, free lane for Rayfarki, just perma pushing forever. And he did also bring the TP, so maybe he'll have the better flanks in this game, as we are looking more towards the bot lane and just very, okay, hook for hook, all right, like the trade. So they're just chilling out now. No crazy shenanigans happening so far. So it's a very tame laning phase all across the map here. And yeah, Nymeria, this is definitely a different outlook than before. And which team do you think is going to be more pressured to make the first?
It's not as explosive as like game 1. It's not going to be crazy bot lane dives. It's going to be... Yeah, we're waiting to see where, the first hammer blow will fall, right? And I will apologize again to viewers that, sadly, Berlin does not have the best internet, which means that I'm going to be cutting in and out, and I'm going to have really bad lag. But luckily, it's a slower paced game. Don't need to worry about that right now. We can go a little bit slow. We can go and talk about this a bit more as Yellow Yoshi. Wait, did he just put the portal out of base, realize he didn't want to go that way, and then came back? That is so sad.
He did. Oh man, the board portal mishap. Look, it happens. Like, if challenge.
It happens to everyone. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it's totally not making me feel bad about mine. So we're good. We do have the slower paced game, and yeah, just slow pushing across the maps. I would say even CS across the board, but Yellow Yoshi's not CSing, so nothing there. But
doesn't really count. Yeah.
Yeah, so just lots of vision placement going down around, and we do have this 3-man cell of top jungle mid roaming down towards Burning Core's tower.
Here we go, 5-man bot. You don't need teleports to do this anymore. They're just going.
Yep, and off the bat, we do see the jump in, flash out. Okay, so good job there. No one will die for now, as they're just chasing him off the turret. They're like, hey, it's like what's it, West Side Story?
No, but that's okay, because they're denying farm again. We know how important it is in this AD carry matchup to try and get leads. We saw what happened when the Jinx got ahead. We do have a response. We do have another potential pick that's not going to lead to anything. But again, the intention is there. Get your bot lane ahead. Now we have to see on the other side, what is Jace doing? What is Jace achieving? It's a tower plate down already. Of course, there's a lot of CS, but Rayfarki, this is a player who has forever been the second, third best top player in the LJL, the person that could contend with Ebby. He's not on the table just yet, but keep your eyes out for when he is, because he's going to be a scary Jace to deal with.
Yep, and we do have this dragon being started by AXIZ. Oh man, so everybody's roaming up. Oh yeah, he doesn't want none of this. This is just, yeah, just watch the dragon go down. That was about to be something real nasty. But AXIZ is gonna swoop in, 4 or 5 men strong, say this dragon is ours. As yeah, we're just talking about Rayfarki just completely pushing in top, getting that farm under his belt.
Yes, and that's another good thing here, right? That's another good thing because, you know, AXIZ, what we see with the Smite top compositions is that you do need to kind of get ahead in some sense, right? You can fall behind in gold because, again, you're not really looking for the monetary value early. You might want to nucleate that on someone like a hyper carry, get that all into one place and say, look, this guy can just carry. But you want to also get dragons as well. You want to make sure that you're not falling behind in the neutrals because they end up being very important to stack, because if you're going to be behind in gold, you want to have a way to force the enemy to fight into your composition and fight around that hyper carry. Dragon stacking is a great way to do that.
For sure, yeah, just getting all the objectives to shore up, that gold difference that you will have between players, between lanes, as AXIZ is just pushing and taking all the camps that they can, making sure that we do have Swamp, getting ahead in this Lee Sin, the famous, mid to late game, not as effective as Flawless will be on this Volibear. It's definitely up to AXIZ to keep the tempo rolling, I would say.
You see, you know what? I'm gonna pull you up on that one because I think that Lee Sin's kicks in this game are gonna be really important. Now, Volibear is, particularly because it's Volibear. Volibear is great once you hit level 6 and around about level 11 as well, right? Your second tier ultimate really, really important, but you're not a Scion, you're not an Ornn, you're not going to be that tanky. And while you do have the ability to flash in, get some backline access, I feel like both of these junglers are going to be really important in shutting down the key carries, and particularly in AXIZ composition, I'm looking for Swamp to get really high value out of kicking people in, and they're going for the bot lane.
Realm Warp comes in, TP play is down, it's going to be match man for man, as, well, unfortunately, Yellow Yoshi's going to go down fast. Great shock blast! Oh my goodness, Rayfarki from downtown saying, what's up, guys, I'm here too. And yeah, that's going to be the tower dive.
I mean, you can't discredit them for trying. They pull out the Realm Warp. We know that this Rise is a big pick for making creative plays, but if you're going for dives, it's much harder with these teleport changes. You don't get to teleport in, they get seen on their way down, and it's a double defensive teleport. You've already been pushed in on that top side. The hook lands, and I mean, AXIZ, I appreciate the play, but it's not nearly as... I mean, that's a hell of a shock blast, isn't it? But it's not nearly as easy to pull off dives anymore, and they get punished for it. Now that early game advantage has absolutely disappeared, even if they even had it in the first place.
Yeah, it was just... I liked the idea in theory, but it was just so squashed, and Rayfarki with that shock blast combined with how much damage that Yuhi was able to put out, and Yellow Yoshi, you're on Bard. Unfortunately, it's not like one of those champions that can like boost up everybody, like the Lulu in the game before, or like a Janna even, with a lot of the shields. You just get popped like a melon.
So I agree with that, but the whole idea is that it's still utility. It's offensive utility, and they can use it in situations like this.
Okay, yeah, and they are jumping straight in. It's looking to have Fujimoto go down.
That's a great play for Swamp.
Pick up, Swamp. Yeah, we'll pick up 2. We do have Flawless here. We'll get 1 in return. And he just walks right into a hook, unfortunately. He has to ult out, Stormbreaker out. That works, okay. So 2-for-1 situation in that tower dive. That one definitely went better than the first one.
Yeah, but imagine what happens when you bring the Bard ultimate to the next time you do that.
Yes.
If you get the level 6 on Bard, that becomes really dangerous. Suddenly you have Realm Warp into that Tempered Fate, into everyone piling on. Question is, how long can they keep that up with it not being responded to in kind by Burning Core? Because you have stuff like, well, I mean, if Fujimoto turns up at the right time, you can see how powerful the Thresh is in situations like this. Obviously not going to be getting huge value out, but if this turns up and you've got that Jinx under tower and the Jinx survives because of it, things get very, very different. Now, AXIZ don't get the most value out of this play, but I love that both of these teams aren't sitting down and kind of just letting the game pass them by. If you compare these teams to themselves a year ago, well, maybe not a split ago for AXIZ, but a year ago for both of these teams, this is such a better look. I'm loving the fact that both these teams with low expectations are coming up to play their own game, and they're looking to play it out aggressively.
Yeah, so they will pop Shelly down in Burning Core's bot lane. They're going to take this tower, and they're just looking to open up this map, and right around, we have Hextech Drake spawning here, so we're probably going to see another 5v5 here in Namera, as just.
I think we are, because everyone's in the same area of the map. Let's check in on those ultimates. Still no Bard ult. Everything else available apart... Well, I mean, I say that, but of course the Volibear ult was used too. So not all of the engage options around. And the Dragon has been started. AXIZ is going to actually choose to take the first tower of the game on bot side and see if they can get towards the fight.
Yep, and yeah, the Dragon is so low. We're looking at Swamp to see if we can get the Smite Steal, but no, Flawless will grab it, but the fight is back on. Great
Jinx!
Placement. Oh, Yuhi just popping people left and right as they will claim the Dragon and get two off the back of it. The rocket from downtown not going to kill anybody off of it, though. But yeah,
okay, so but one again, we see Ray Farkey on the Jace, early amounts of gold, early mythic item comes in with a huge shock blast, which sets up the Jinx to succeed. So you know that the Aphelios isn't at this fight if you are burning core at this point. You are happy to stand here. Sure, tank that hook, whatever, that's fine. Even without the Volibear ult, manages to survive long enough. The gravity field is great, the shock blast is great, and AXIZ, that feels like a very rookie mistake. Your AD carry wasn't there. You need the Aphelios to fight. Don't approach the objective. If you're going to go for a steal, just let Lee Sin take a one-way trip and die for it.
Yeah, that's definitely a situation they could have just left for Swamp to try and grab. We talked about it before the fight, I'll talk about it after the fight. Yellow Yoshi does not have that Tempered Fate, does not have that Bard ultimate available to use to, stall these fights out or get these big catches. As speaking of catches, Ray Farkey, okay, yeah, he's gonna.
I mean, Flawless is here with ults.
Yep. There goes the depth charge out, has to flash to get out, lands the hook too, Nautilus hitbox OP, but Dicey will pay for his life for it, his transgressions, as they're looking to continue this fight, bringing it on, is it split, now has to run.
Oh, I guess Flawless.
Oh no, Flawless jumping straight over, he's tired of it, the bear is done, 4-0-3 on this volley here, he's trying to take everything into his own hands.
And you know what? The last time we saw the tower dive, we were like, I wonder what happens if Burning Core turn up in time. Because it's great if AXIZ start rotating really quickly and they get to the towers first and there's no Thresh there and there's no Flawless there. But this is not the case in this fight. The solo lane is the Burning Core. They have significant damage now. Dice drops an ultimate down, drops a grab field down, and people melt. Ray Farkey with the Shock Blast, very similar situation. And Burning Core, they've managed to... Ever since that botched tower dive that AXIZ handed them, they've taken a firm control of this game, and Burning Core, they're actually looking quite impressive right now.
Yeah, it's insane. Did you watch Arcane? Because I did, and I thought there's one thing I pulled from that. Victor is kind of crazy, and Jace is just...
Oh my god, we actually missed this. We missed it. They have literally all three of the big Arcane characters. They have Jinx, they have Jace, they have me in my later years of Victor. Yes, I know that meme keeps going on. But really, the star of this fight is not Arcane at all. He's Freljordian, he's a little bit icier, and Flawless continues to impact these fights in such a big way. He's there to bail out the Jace at the first part. He's there to catch out Megaman as he oversteps, looking for the flank. Honestly, this Volibear performance has been really good from Burning Core.
Yeah, Flawless being the absolutely flawless war god of the Freljord as he eats a hook. He's going to ult though. Stormbreaker comes down. He's pretty beefy. He can take a lot of damage.
But Dice is doing so much damage!
Dice is kind of ridiculous on this Victor. The man is cracked and gets a double for himself with a lot of excess damage coming out from Ray Farkey on this Jace, who just is playing that supplementary damage. As Dice is going to walk down Sanctuary here.
Yes, flash.
He's gonna go under tower. He does have flash available. Oh, dodge to the laser. One auto. Oh, here comes
Sunshine!
Yellow Yoshi. No way. The lantern is there. He's gonna take it. He gets the hook. He lands it. That's absolutely insane gameplay, and he's gonna keep going. Give this man all the kills. Put it in the Dice backpack as he gets a delayed quadra essentially.
And if we are gonna talk about Burning Core as a whole unit, we talked about the Arcane champions, talked about Flawless. Who didn't we mention? It was the Thresh, it was Fujimoto, coming into this split after spending so long on the DFM substitute roster, and oh my word, he is here to impress. So this starts off again with AXIZ trying to play around side lanes. I love the fact that they've realized that they can play around them. They're just not executing correctly on them. You need to be quicker to the play. You need to be more precise in your target selection, because if you're not hitting the Victor at this point, you are going to lose the fight. Look at the huge damage that comes out from the Victor. We're actually going to cut out of that replay. We're going to miss the hook play from Fujimoto, but seriously, go back, clip it, watch it again. Fujimoto managing to cut down Sangchu after Sangchu played the end of that fight so well. So exciting to watch. You know, I looked at this game and I was like, it's not going to be that great. You know, both these teams kind of lower tier, but they are turning up, they're shutting me up, and they're shutting me up with some great League of Legends.
For sure, and I want to talk about in the picture that we didn't get to see, AXIZ started off that Herald and got it extremely low, and then Burning Core literally just said, hey kid, give me your lunch money, and just bullied them off of it. So like, that's just, you know, that's another thing they have going for them, as they're gonna get the Herald, pop it mid. Shelly didn't crack it open the mid, but they're gonna rotate over to this Dragon. Third Drake of the game. We do have ourselves a Windrake Rift here, and that's gonna be fun for Burning Core to get if they grab the next subsequent ones.
I mean, I think the soul itself is gonna be... Okay, it's actually quite important. So, for those of you that didn't notice the change in the preseason, because I didn't until yesterday when I was talking with Vedius in the green room of the AC, and we were like, wait, did you realize that the Cloud Dragon actually gives you slow resist and movement speed nowadays? Yeah. I was like, doesn't it give you ultimate haste anymore? Either way, Burning Core going to be moving that bit faster outside of combat. And if they get the soul, particularly for someone like Jace that's form shifting all the time and looking to play the long lanes, you know, when AXIZ were trying to play towards those side lanes, going to be much harder now. Everyone's going to be moving into position much faster. And even with the Rift itself, getting to those plays from both sides is going to make it much more snappy, that much more decisive. This fits, you know, I love that it's this Rift for this game in particular. Most of the time, Cloud Rift doesn't play into it, but because it's all about tower dives, all about side lanes, this is going to be super exciting to watch.
Oh, the rotations. Oh, it's I see it. It's everywhere.
The rotations. The misery.
It's going to be insane. And we're talking about Dice, get a sped up Victor going on with the Cloud Rift. Insane. The man's literally going to be just like a whole drift car going around the Rift. Like, it's going to be nasty, as he's just going to push down bot by himself. Megumin's going to watch him. Not really going to be able to interact, because unfortunately this Rise is down bad at 0-4-1 right now. And Dice is, this man is
you keep using that term. I don't think that means what you think it means.
Nah, he wants to be Dice so bad. Like, he is so envious of this man.
And in fairness, as a mid laner myself, as a mid laner myself, you know, I often get pretty down bad for good Victor performances. So, we're gonna leave that one there, as the mid lane turret is now under control.
We see Flawless hunting. He's going on all fours. You got to get out of the way immediately. This Burning Core is just gonna open up that mid, and he with a little cheeky rocket there, just saying, "Hey, I will kill you in any instant." As Dice is
okay, so side lane plays again. Swamp is looking to see if he can pick someone off. This is where Lee Sin is actually really powerful. Look to see, they've got the Realm War coming in on top of it.
Oh, Dice got to run for his life, as he does have a lot of visitors coming. There's the magical journey. Yeah, he's gonna have to pray to all the gods, but the one god he does have is
Stopwatch.
Flashes in. Stopwatch perfect.
What is that turnaround?
Down, shooting barrels everywhere. Oh man, you thought you had Dicey, or you thought you had Dice, turn it around? No, absolutely not. Call it ambulance, but not for me.
That is actually such a great play. Look at that turnaround. Dice with the perfect stopwatch, understanding his time to be safe. Teleport on the other side. Burning Core not willing to let go of this game yet.
They don't know they're on a ward. AXIZ staying in the bush. They don't even know they're on a ward. Ray Farkey will claim another for his belt. And oh my goodness, just Burning Core running away with this game now.
And you know, for someone who's watched the LJL for such a long time and see Burning Core be this team that's kind of mid-table, tops out at about 4th, maybe 3rd on a good split, and then to see them capitulate last split, this is such a turnaround for this organization, for this team. What an exciting time to be a Burning Core fan, wherever you are out there.
Stonks are rising, Namera. As Burning Core, we're going to be taking this replay real quick. Yeah, Dice is just like, I'm going to do some side lane play, as he has been doing for a majority of this mid-game.
But this is where Lee Sin's so powerful, right? Because even though you are sat here as a hyper-fared Victor, it's still against a dueling jungler. You can see how strong they are. The Zhonya's, the extra armor built up by Dice, absolutely saves his bacon at this point. That is such... I mean, that looks simple, but pulling it off in that timing from that distance to dodge out on that skill shot is really difficult. Dice absolutely outplaying the mind game. Flawless coming in for the save. Burning Core. What an exciting game for this team.
Yeah, and it's just that map awareness, trusting your team, and that's why you stack your beads and your seekers, ladies and gentlemen. Get up those extra minute resistances because it'll save your life one day. As Dice just completely trusting his team to get there, and Flawless with the flawless flash ult stun was so clean.
Okay, so let's go check in with this game a little bit more because it has been a bit hectic for the last couple of minutes. We talked about, hey, Ray Farkey, great Jace player, and he's, you know, at some point Jace is going to become a factor. Now, he has been a factor, but for me, has been overshadowed somehow, some way by this Victor. Oh my gosh, Dice has been on an absolute tear. I think the Everfrost is a very important buy this game because you are into so many low-range engaging targets. Burning Core still have that strong Jace. Just popped over to a Muramana. Let's see how the next Dragon fight goes. Or rather, if AXIZ ever commit to a 5v5, which they've been reluctant to do, it's not what their comp wants to, this is going to be so dangerous for them. So that's one thing to keep track of. Another thing that we mentioned is, of course, AXIZ playing on the side lanes. We need to see now actually what they do now they've been losing on the side lane. How do they start to reassess this? Do they just keep banging down that brick wall, bashing their heads against it? Or will they try something a little bit different with the realm warps, with the magical journeys and everything else? Because they've not really found success so far.
Yeah, I doubt that AXIZ is going to try and commit to any sort of 5v5s with how fast... Yeah, Burning Core just takes another Dragon real quick, and playing these side lanes is their best bet. I would like to see them establish a lot more vision. You do see a lot of wards on this top side of the map, as you know, they're going to be targeting these top two towers over here. So definitely wanting to play the side game, pick off one or two at a time if they can, because itemization is item lead right now for Burning Core is exponential as well.
Oh, Dice, you played so well. No, don't do this.
Once again, walking into it. Oh, Rio Fujimoto, baby. The Thresh King coming in clutch. Once again, saving lives as Dice goes back in stasis. And on the back half of that, though, okay, we'll have an ADC for ADC 1v1 trade as Dice going to pick up another kill for him. So a 2-for-1 going in the favor of Burning Core. Once again, AXIZ starting
these fights. Ray Farkey on the turret.
Oh man, 3v1 how long can he last? How long can he last? He lasted long enough to get a kill before he dropped, and yeah, there will be some objective bounty gold going to the pockets of AXIZ off of that, but man, is Burning Core making them hard for it.
Can you tell I'm excited about this game? This game is so interesting to watch. Ray Farkey finally goes down, and now Sangshu's caught.
No. Sangshu's caught, and he's gonna go down so fast. He basically pops in an instant as Fujimoto is once again just being the support you love to have, just being there at the perfect time. These hooks this game, the lanterns especially this game, have been so clutch from him.
They have, but okay, so for a brief moment, I was going to talk about, hey, you can't forget about Sangshu. He's doing really well. Cuts down Yuhi, but he ends up dying at the back end of it. It feels like every time AXIZ go for a big play, it's just responded to so cleanly from the side of Burning Core. This is what happens when you have built up an early Shadow Flame and an early Zhonya's. The HP, the armor, and the amount of levels they've got too is so many defensive stats. It's very hard to close out these kills. Dice walks up, dumps the combo, still has the Zhonya's after all that. He's playing to the limit so incredibly well. Burning Core looking the most coordinated I have ever seen this team, and AXIZ, they're feeling the brunt of it. I don't even think AXIZ are playing that poorly. They have made mistakes, but they're not that egregious. They're just trying to play to their composition. They're very far behind at this point, but I mean, even with Sangshu finding a solo kill onto the enemy AD carry and finding a minute advantage, AXIZ look absolutely lost to what Burning Core are throwing at them.
Yeah, and it harkens back again to the composition. Like you have this rotational comp that wants to get picks, wants to take objectives fast and get out of there. Meanwhile, Burning Core has this composition that says, "What's up, bro? Want to fight?" And they're taking the fight classes, and they literally just can't do anything. They're folding like paper, and it's really a testament to Burning Core's teamwork as working as such a 5-man squad all around the map to shore up these differences and have this massive gold lead out that they have, and three dragons to one. Like, this is such a great look for this team that we were talking was very middle of the pack, but they're looking to break into that top echelon.
There they are. So, Burning Core, one to keep their eyes on if you weren't having your eyes there already. So, let's see what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. We have a Baron that's been taken. We have a Soul in a minute and a half, which is going to be appearing when the Baron buff ends. Burning Core, though, sitting back, playing on 2 lanes. That's where that is the maximum you can really play on. Because if you're trying to go 3 lanes against all of this map rotational play with the Realm Warp, with everything else, going to be very dangerous for you. So even with this lead, Burning Core, playing out safely, playing out correctly, and they're grouping up as 5 now for this last turret, and they're diving it with the volley barrel.
Yeah, there's just nothing that AXIZ can do in the face of a whole dive like that, as the Tempered Fate's gonna go a little shy of catching out some members. We do see Swamp on the backside gets a kick onto Ray.
Oh my
but
gosh,
he
that's
doesn't
some
want the
damage.
1v1. Oh yeah, so Ray Fark is gonna 1v1 your jungle on the backside, and the rest of the team, Burning Core, they're just gonna keep going forward. So they're gonna take a tower, take another kill. Oh, what? I'm sorry, I'm over here choking on my words here.
That was a crit. That was very much a crit.
Yellow Yoshi almost just evaporating into thin air as Burning Core, they're looking to close this one out. Not without some resistance from AXIZ, and Sanchu will try to make something happen. Not enough damage, not enough items, as Burning Core will shut down the rebellion and walk themselves up to a great victory that they well deserved here in this game.
Okay, and while I don't think the victor is the Emperor from Star Wars, if they shut down the rebellion, I think you'll find this mid lane